What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Checkup Podcast, featuring myself, Armani Jackson. We just got a quick special segment for you guys. We got Ken back from B Squared. Ken, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited for this. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, we want to apologize early to Alex. We're going to be talking about the Lakers a lot today. No, I'm just kidding. But going with how the team's looking right now, man, like with the Lakers, bro, I know that's both of our favorite teams. No bias with Alex with the Suns, but like, how you feeling about the team right now, bro?
Tough, man. Over the last 10, we are 3-7.
I know it's so terrible, bro. I hate it.
Trash. Like we just lost to the Kings tonight without LeBron. We lost to the Suns. I mean, obviously AD's been out, but I think this is really just showing what Anthony Davis means to the Lakers. I mean, you take Anthony Davis off this team, we're maybe not even a top 8 team in the West. I don't know if it's a playoff team. Like it showed in LeBron's first year in LA.
Yeah, with BI and Kuz and Lonzo, Josh Hart.
Miss the playoffs, bro. It's not gonna work when AD's not there, and AD has to be there if we're gonna win another championship. And right now, we're 4th in the West. You go back 10 games, you go back 10 games, we're tied for first with Utah. So bad, really, really bad slumping right now. And having Kuzma out for the Suns game was terrible. Gasol's been out. AD's obviously been out. Caruso's now hurt, and LeBron just missed a game. The Lakers are a mess right now, bro, and I don't know what to say.
And the situation, too, with AD being out, it kind of puts us back in that position when LeBron's first year. Like you said, bro, we're getting into this phase where it's like, okay, who do we depend on now? I mean, we thought, Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball and Josh Harden and Kyle Kuzma could lead the way, but at the same time, they proved otherwise that it was a struggle for them to be led with the team without their superstar.
Yeah.
But now we have a team with 2 superstars just coming off a fresh NBA championship. But the problem now is the same aspect. Like, okay, who's going to step up when the big star is gone, And you could kind of see, and we can sit here and say, yeah, LeBron's 36 years old, and he has proved a lot of him being an MVP candidate this year at the same time, but age does wear down on a player's, health.
It does.
And we're in this phase now where it's like, okay, we depend on Anthony Davis, but he's always, banged up, hurt, injured, or whatever. And it's no diss or nothing. I mean, he takes a big toll down inside playing in the front court, being in the paint, going against like the best bigs of like in the league. But the problem with that is like, who do you depend on? Because in my personal opinion, bro, like when we first thought about the Marc Gasol pickup, bro, we were like, yeah, like Marc Gasol's a vet, and you were like, bro, I hate it. And I was trying to give him like faith, like, okay, he's a champ, bro, like he knows what he's doing, but we're stuck. No. We're stuck in this phase where he's not doing nothing. He's only averaging – Marc Gasol is not averaging no type of production major for the Lakers right now. He's only averaging like 5 a game, and he's playing 20 minutes a game. That's no production that we got out of like JaVale and Dwight
was
last year.
10.
Right. Like a double-double, basically solid off the bench every night. And now we got guys like Keith Morris, and you got, you're depending on Trez Harrell to produce way more energy when Trez Harrell is only a 6th man. Yeah, Trez Harrell's in the game a lot more than the starting big, but it's just like, how much more do we need from everybody else? Kyle Kuzma is averaging like 11.5 right now, which is basically 12 points a game. But the thing with him has always been, okay, I'm playing with another superstar, and now I'm playing with a small forward, a power forward, and potentially a center that are going to shine me of my shine. So now it's like, where do we find consistency and rhythm? I don't know, bro. Like the struggle has always been that. And AC was talking about this too, bro. Like much respect to him. He was saying, so we suck at developing. And it's kind of true. Like I had to think about that. And like,
he's right.
He was like D'Lo. He was there. We were doing good, whatever, with his how his trajectory was. Like he was doing good. But then at the same time, we let him go. Then we get Lonzo. We get Josh Hart. We get BI. And, I mean, Julius Randle, Jordan Clarkson, like all these guys, bro, are like –
stars now.
Right. Everybody is doing their own thing. Julius Randle's an all-star.
BI
was an all-star last year. Potentially could have been an all-star this year. D'Angelo Russell has proven he's an all-star. And then Josh Hart, I mean, he's a tool guy. He's going to work, and he's proven himself in the league to be on a team. but he's not no great player. But at the same time, he's developed into a role. And then you got Jordan Clarkson on the best team in the West right now.
He'll be 6th man of the year.
He'll be 6th man of the year candidate.
Yeah.
So it just, I don't know, like, and that's always been the fear, bro. Like with the Lakers, is that we depend so much on one person to do so much. And I mean, at the same time, when Kobe was there, when he was alive and stuff, and the great wonders he pulled off. But I mean, he had Pau Gasol,
Shaq,
Lamar, D. Fish was a leader, and Bynum, like he had, and Metta World Peace was a defender and an anchor on lockdown. Like they had pieces that you didn't have to question, like, oh, Kobe's out this game. There's a chance we can still win this game. Like now, it's like if LeBron's out, oh, just scratch that game off. We're finna lose.
That's an L.
And no disrespect to nobody on the team, because I feel like our team is capable to win with the roster that is fully healthy.
Yeah.
The problem has always been when there's no playmaking ability and there's no interior presence, we lack a lot, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you think about that?
It's the same. Here's the problem. It's been the same issue LeBron's whole career, and I really had hoped it wouldn't follow him to LA. I hope we would surround him with another guy. You know, you look at Kawhi with the Clippers. You got Paul George. That's a guy that can lock down on defense, make plays on offense, create his own offense, right?
Right.
LeBron had Kyrie to kind of score in Cleveland, right? He had D-Wade in Boston.
Yeah. He had his proven team.
Now he has AD, right? But he's never had like a guy that can just go out and get you like a Chris Paul type of guy, right? That can go out and get you 18 and 10 a night.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem, is that LeBron has to be that guy that like AD's struggling. All right, LeBron's got to just feed him, right? Kyrie maybe not be playing that well, and you just get it to Kyrie, let him get back in this game. And if he's not playing well, I got to do the burden by myself. I had hoped, hey, LeBron sits out tonight. Oh, AD's fine. He's ready to go. But guess what? AD's hurt now. And so now it's like when LeBron misses a game, that's a G League squad out there. Like that's ridiculous.
Terrible.
That we won a championship with these two guys, and Alex Caruso was a starter. Dwight Howard was a starter, and Dwight Howard's like playing like 10 minutes a game in Philly. Like
in Philly now, backup center, yeah.
We really won a championship with a bunch of bums and LeBron and AD. Because they're slowing right now. We're 3-7 over our last 10 games without AD. It's a bunch of bums. You can't beat anybody in the Western Conference without Anthony Davis. And that's frustrating to me. It's really frustrating because it's like, Kuzma, let's go. Step it up. Schroeder.
Yeah, because this would be the time. This is the perfect, bro. And you know me, bro. Like, if anybody knows who I am, bro, I love Kyle, bro. Like, we met him and all that stuff, whatever, cool, whatever. Yeah. But I love Kyle. So I'm always rooting for him to do good. And I'm like, bro, like, okay, let's eat this game. Like, you have the perfect. This should have been Kyle's game to get 30.
Yeah. Go out and score, bro.
And it's the Kings. It's not like it's the Bucks or like the Sixers. It's the Kings.
Like that's a G League team themselves. They suck.
Besides the Aaron Fox, bro, and potentially sometimes Buddy Hield. But you know what I'm saying, bro? It's the Kings. And like this should have been your game to go off. You're better than Bagley, in my opinion. You're better than Rashawn Holmes. I mean, Rashawn Holmes, he works inside. But, bro, like, it's the Kings, bro. This was your primal opportunity and time to go and get your points. Show why we paid you.
And he had, exactly. We sent him 3 more years. He had 25 tonight. So I'll give him that. But, first of all, I want 30. But the game he missed. Then, bro, I'll read you the 4 games before that. He had 12 against the Warriors. He had 4 against Portland. He had 5 against Utah and 14 against the Wizards. That's trash. Inconsistency. And he's averaging what? 11 points per game this year. And Montrezl Harrell's averaging 13. Montrezl Harrell averaged 20 a game with the Clippers last year. Why is he
was a high motor. Stupid motor, bro.
Why is he averaging 13 with us? And Schroeder has dropped off like crazy. He averaged 20 last year. He's averaging 14 this year.
Yeah, but we got to give it to him, though, with the fact of his injury and not even injury, but being away. It kind of takes a player. I mean, we don't know being in the league, but at the same time, we got to know that it takes time to get back in the rhythm sometimes.
That's fair.
But at the same time, though, I get what you're saying. Production. Yeah, it's the production factor. Yep. And then I feel like, too, and I mean, we're not Vogel and we're not J Kidd, but at the same time, though, like, you see the projection of your guys like Taylor Horn Tucker and give him a shot.
Those are damn minutes.
Yeah, like give him a shot. Like I think THT in the loss today, I'm trying to look at it right now. The loss today, he only played like a certain finite amount of minutes, bro. But my problem is with that though, it's like, bro, like play him. He only played 16 minutes. He played 16 minutes and he
Why?
produced he played 19. Okay, Taylor Horton-Tucker had 19 minutes and he scored 9 points.
Can you tell me why he doesn't get 35 minutes in a game like this? Like
Exactly.
against a shitty team.
And we're going to the All-Star break right now.
No LeBron. Give him 35 minutes.
Right.
I don't get this, man.
Yeah, and then you got guys like Wesley Matthews, who's playing 16 minutes a game, who's a vital piece to our role player list. And I mean, Wesley Matthews is cool. He's a defender and he can shoot, but he was 0 for 2 today. So obviously the touches weren't going towards him. Let's produce more energy towards Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Let's get him his touches, his reps.
I'll tell you, in the last 4 Laker games, you know how many points Wesley Matthews has scored combined? It's as much as you and I have scored for the Lakers over the last 4 games. The man has scored 0 points in 4 straight games, and then he scored 3 in the 5th game before that, and then 0 in the game before that. He is killing our team. And it's not like he's playing 5 minutes a game. He's getting 23 minutes, 13.
He's going through the Danny Green slump right now, like when Danny was in the playoffs when he missed.
Bro, he's really putting up 0 points a game for us in games that he plays 30 minutes in. He's just out there running. He's just running a marathon out there. That's all he's doing.
Yeah, but the thing with that though is like, and it's no bash towards our team, and it's no bash towards the Lakers at all, but it's the concern.
Yeah.
Because if we look at the West now, bro, you got teams like Utah, Phoenix, who actually beat us. Like, I'm not surprised by that either. They're a good team.
Bro,
the Clippers, yeah. And then I mean the Clippers too now with their trajectory right now on a good pace. You go against teams like Portland and I mean it's problems always in the West. Like there's always going to be that finite problem in the West where you have to know like you can't slack off. If you slack off too much, you're going to jump down. Just like when the Lakers with LeBron the first year when he was there. And it was, okay, we're doing good. We're the best team. We're like 25-7 or 24-7. We always talk about this.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden you see the impact of one player coming here and he gets injured. Boom. LeBron's groin injury. We sunk down slowly. And then it took LeBron to try to fight in for the chance to win. But at that time, it's about getting your rhythm back. And we were in a screwed position, you know? So it's like, what do you do? Like, and the thing about it, though, too, I fear this, too, because LeBron's 36, like I said. He's endured the groin injury, and we pray he's healthy. But at the same time, you don't know the toll that it takes on him to play that many minutes a game. He was playing I think he's averaging the 3rd most minutes played per game since AD's been out, like behind Julius Randle and I think another guy. But it's ridiculous, bro. Like, this is our star player, or you can say he's our first or second option, whatever you want to call it. He's our ultimate playmaker, though.
Yeah.
If he goes out, bro, it's like we might as well close that window and go try to get Bradley Beal or something else, bro. I don't know what we do because it's gonna be bad, bro. Like you don't want to burn him out, like, and it's kind of sad. It's sad, bro, because you think about it too. Like the last time, 2011 playoffs, and it was the time when Kobe was trying to get his team to the playoffs. Yeah. Dude, Kobe got injured, and that screwed us over so bad that we had to depend on the Dwight Howard, who didn't even want to be there anymore because he was burnt out by how many touches he was getting the first go around. And mad respect to Dwight, he's a champion now with our team. I'm happy. Yeah. But at the same time, it was just like, dude, we're depending on Kobe to will us to the playoffs when you have a whole team. And that's the thing I always try to tell people, bro. People be like, oh, you're just a LeBron fan or you support LeBron and what LeBron's doing. No, bro, it's the fact that I don't want him to get burnt out to the point where he's having to haul ass like he was when he was in Cleveland. Or, you know what I'm saying? Because in Miami, we can't really sit here and say, oh, LeBron was carrying. Like, yeah, he did his part. He really did his part for Miami. Yeah, but he had the help of a D-Wade, a Bosh, a Allen. Yeah. Rio Chalmers was good. Norris Cole was a good role player. Shane Battier. He had James Jones. Those guys, Mike Miller, all those guys were good. UD as a vet, like he had, and all those guys were good. But the problem always was, though, when he went back to Cleveland, you saw the bearing effect of how LeBron had to endure. I have to be locked in every single game. If I don't score 30 or more, my team doesn't have a chance. if I don't produce this much assists, if I don't get these rebounds, my team doesn't have a chance.
It's like you. What
Dude,
do you want?
we saw LeBron get his butt kicked. We saw LeBron get his butt kicked by KD twice. You know how bad that was to see that, bro? It's a good rivalry. Don't get me wrong. I love it.
Yeah.
It's great. But just seeing now, like looking back, you'd be like, wow, like LeBron was getting dogged out. But he didn't have help, though. Like, you can't sit here and say he had the greatest help. Like, he had K-Love. At the same time, K-Love has transitioned his game into a more, shooter-esque type style rather than, I'm back to the basket big.
And he was skinny too, bro. He wasn't.
Yeah, he was really slender.
Yeah.
He's not guarding Kevin Durant.
Hell no.
The only person that was able to guard Kevin Durant on that team was Bron, but Bron couldn't even go there because he would exert so much energy on his defense that his offense would have been gassed.
You put 50 on him, and freaking J.R. Smith dribbled out.
Right. And that was the fate that signed him to the Lakers, bro. Thank you, Jesus. But at the same time, though,
with that.
Yeah, like I'll take that one any day. But
like last night, LeBron had 38 last night against the Suns. Loss.
Yeah.
Because no help.
He has no help, and he's by himself. Like the production, and Taylor actually had a good shooting game that first and second half or whatever. So you want to call it, like he played and he was getting his buckets, he was getting to his spots. Only thing with Taylor Horton-Tucker, bro, and I will admit this, he's going through that phase where people are going to attack him because they know he's still young and he's still developing his game. So he tends to get in foul trouble sometimes, but he has great length with his wingspan. But the problem is, though, if he gets a little bit more disciplined on defense, bro, it would be a bad problem because he wouldn't be in the foul trouble. Yeah, he's 20. He's young. He's from Iowa State. Like, dude, first of all, you don't even expect him to be there. At the second time, though, the dude's skill set is pretty nasty, bro. Like, so I'm really rooting for like the future with him. I hope like we don't get into a situation where we have to trade him or let him go. Yeah, because he has great potential and good. His play style is really good. You think like, okay, Taylor Horton-Tucker just like wants to get to the rack, but no, the dude can shot create, shoot. Yep. He has the handle of a point guard, kind of like how he played at Iowa State. I looked at a little bit of his clips from college. He was good, dude. Dude had a solid round game. And let's not forget, Iowa State wasn't no bad team like in college in the Big 12. Like they were running through teams and stuff. Yeah. But it just provides value that it takes you. Every team needs a duo. You have to have a duo in the league now. Like, I mean, we have the Brooklyn Nets, like they have, Harden, Kyrie, and KD. But at the same time, you're seeing Kyrie and Harden right now without KD eating, whether it be doing your isolation moves, your dribble handoffs, whatever. They're creating great value for their teams. And then you got, Denver, Jokic, and Murray. Dame and CJ when CJ's healthy. The Suns have Chris Paul and Devin Booker, which we're going to talk about. But at the same time, like there's duos that you have to worry about that you can't sleep on. I mean, even Chris Middleton and Giannis, like you can't sleep on them because if you do, you're going to get eaten alive, whether it be a shot creating motive or Giannis just dominates you in the rack. So like. It's like, where do you play balance at with your team? Like, you have to, with the Lakers, and I understand this too, being like, I can only imagine me and Rob Pelinka and Vogel. You have to be cautious because it's a long game for the Lakers right now. Like, we have to try to build another championship contending process for ourselves rather than, let's rush AD back. And then, boom, like,
tears his Achilles.
Tears his Achilles. He's out, and we're done. And that's ball game, bro. Like, LeBron's not getting, even if we will mercifully to the conference finals, we're going to get burnt out even if we make the finals and go up against a team like the Brooklyn Nets, bro. LeBron can't do it by himself, bro. Like, I'm not doubting the guy. Yeah. I'm not doubting him because I never will, especially after the Game 7 comeback and stuff, all that stuff. But it's just like it plays great testament to the fact that we need to stay healthy. Yeah. So hopefully this All-Star break is good for the team. Going into the other teams, though, that we're talking about, though, like the Phoenix Suns, like the projection rate for them, bro, is crazy right now. Like with Chris Paul on the team now, like how you feel about that? Like with their team,
they're nasty, bro. Here's the thing: is Phoenix has won 3 in a row. They're 8-2 over their last 10. They're honestly, what's crazy about Phoenix is that they're not just good on offense; they're also
Lonnie has a discipline.
They're one of the best defensive teams in the league. I mean, you got a guy like Chris Paul, who is always in the top 5 in steals. You got a guy like Devin Booker who has not been known as a defender throughout his career, playing defense.
Right.
Cam Johnson's long. Mikal Bridges, his arms are like freaking 9 feet long. The guy is
Right.
insane on the defensive end. Aiton's a good lockdown center. Jay Crowder can play some defense. We all know that. Jay Crowder's a
Yeah.
dog. And they're the second best team in the West on defense. The first is the Lakers, but the Lakers are slipping right now. I think
a little bit.
the Suns will overtake the Lakers in terms of opponent point per game soon. And wow, it's crazy watching the difference between the Suns last year with Ricky Rubio as the point guard and the Suns this year with Chris Paul as the point guard. They're 23-11 at this current moment. They're 3 games back of Utah for the first spot in the West. Who would have ever thought we'd be saying, damn, the Suns are potentially going to finish first in the West? Is this 2005 with friggin' Steve Nash and his,
and Amari Stoudemire and
Mike D'Antoni
and Hill and all those guys? Yeah.
Offense? I mean, this is ridiculous, bro. When's the last time Phoenix has been this good?
I haven't seen this in a while, bro. And the last time, 2010, and we played with Nash, and it was Nash, Grant Hill
versus
Kobe.
Powell.
Yeah, and Powell. Yeah, this is like the last time that the Suns
made the
have been in the playoffs. No, for real, literally. And it's crazy to think about because that series was pretty brutal too for us too. Like going against them, like I was afraid as a kid. I'm like, oh damn, like, but Steve Nash, he was good.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like I'm not gonna sleep on the guy. Like I have mad respect for Nash, even right now as a coach. Like he's handling his stuff well out of Brooklyn. But
I'll take Nash, though. That's easy money.
But it speaks to the fact though, like we're kind of seeing a resurgence in the team. I was looking back though, like the team that Brooks had in his past have been not that great at all, bro. Like
terrible.
Yeah, like I don't sit here and look like whoever would have thought that Tyler Ulis would still be the starting point guard for the Phoenix Suns. Like or leading in the direction like with Ricky Rubio. Like Ricky Rubio is a good point guard, but he's not no savvy like point guard where oh my gosh, he's a fantastic guy. Like no.
He's like 8 points like assists.
But the impact truly though, and it speaks great testament to who Chris Paul is as a leader, as a point guard, as a traditional point guard, not a point guard that is like, like a Dame or Steph or even a high scoring guest like Kyrie. But Chris Paul is a forward.
He's old school. He's old school.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's kind of like not in a way LeBron, but he's like a mini Bron facilitator. Like he's gonna create plays for his teammates. In the game against us, he only made 1 field goal but had 10 assists.
Yeah, that's all he needs to do.
He was 1 for 4. He was 1 for 4, truly. And I'm just thinking like, okay, Devin Booker's out of the game. He got ejected or whatever with the whole fiasco with KCP and all the other stuff that happened. But Chris Paul was like, y'all calm down. We're gonna get through this and we're gonna figure it out. He's been a great lead, and he's been a great lead for DeAndre Ayton too. DeAndre Ayton averaging about like 15 a game right now.
Yeah,
looked up just now, but you could just see the impact that Chris Paul's having on him, not just on offense, but on defense as well. He's making sure he's well positioned and stuff. But I don't know, because I was always in question too, like with the whole draft situation with them too. Like you look at guys like Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges, you're like, why did they draft those guys? Like, why'd you get these guys? But they fill in great positions, and I feel like it speaks good to also Monty Williams, who's a good proven coach right now. Yeah. He was always a good assistant. He was always well-rounded and sharp on his game plannings, his scouting and stuff, and how he would approach games as an assistant. He was there with AD. He helped AD kind of elevate his game a little bit. He's part of that success, in my personal opinion, of him when he was in NOLA. But at the same time, you look now, and it's like, wow, the team's bought in. Like the team's not in question about, oh, okay, well, is this what we're going to do? No, the team is bought in. And the thing Monty said when they lost, well, actually they went undefeated. They went 8-0, but they lost out in the playoffs, And Monty was like, we want to be in the position where we're able to control our own fate. We don't want to be in the position where it's like, okay, we win these games, we prove who we are, but we have to like dig. We're not trying to dig anymore. We want to be in a position where we control our own fate. And if we're able to control our own fate, we can write our own story, write our own legacy where it has to be, we have to get in the play-in tournament. No, Because like when they got Chris Paul, like in our early preseason rankings with me and Alex, I had him at like 4 to 6. But to see them in the top 3, it's like, whoa, like I wasn't expecting. And the Suns started off pretty bad, like not pretty bad, but they started off kind of rocky in the beginning.
8-8, yep.
Yeah, they were like 8-8. They started off really rocky, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's not gonna gel right with this team. I don't know. Maybe Booker's not the good fit, but Chris Paul's a good leader, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta give it to him, man. Like for him to go from where he was as a superstar in the Hornets, bro, to go to the Clippers, go lead that franchise, whatever. They didn't make it. At the same time, he goes to Houston.
Yep.
And then he creates a great impact for that team. And then he goes to OKC. You see what the success he had there. They were 1 game out. They could have beat Houston, and then they would have been in. You know what I'm saying? You never know the situation or the circumstance that could have been out of that situation. But the thing that it shows is that Chris Paul is a good developer. Because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a hooper, bro. Like, and that's our Kentucky Wildcat guy, bro. Like bro. Like, he's playing really good because of the success. Good. Yeah, he's playing off of the mentorship that Chris Paul has placed on him. So it just speaks good about who he is as a player, bro. And I just think the development of those guys is better, bro. Like Cam Johnson's way more confident. Yeah. I remember one time, like we went to games last year, bro, and you're like, Cam Johnson, like, what are you doing? Like, you're not playing right. Like, you're oddly positioned. You're just sitting in the corner. You're not moving around. But now he's like more active.
Yeah.
And you think too, like the loss of Kelly Oubre would impact the team and like an energy standpoint, but it's kind of being filled and voided by guys like Mikal Bridges and Cam. Like you see it, even guys that they have on the team now, like Dale Nader. You don't think of guys like him to produce anything for your team, or Dario Saric. Like we thought we slept on Dario. We're like, oh, Dario's done, but Monty's kind of revitalized his game to a point where he's
producing.
He's a more productive player. And it's not always about, because I think the thing too is like, oh, he doesn't score, so he doesn't mean nothing to the franchise. He doesn't mean nothing to the team. No, you can put yourself in a position to succeed. Only a good coach, I feel like, can restructure a player's play style and make them into a better position of a player. And then you get guys like Jay Crowder. He's on the team now. He's a great defender, in my opinion. Like he's not the best defender, but he's disciplined. Like I don't have fear. I'm gonna go at you. I'm gonna defend you. I'm gonna lock you up. I'm gonna know your plays and do whatever. Yeah. So he's a good piece to have on that team, in my opinion. It's kind of weird. I thought Jay Crowder was signed back with Miami.
I did too.
But yeah, just to get it, rerun it back. But at the same time, though, he wanted his money, and I mean, you're seeing the success of the team now, so that's the benefit of it. But I don't know, bro. Like they can be a problem, bro. I really feel like they can be a problem now because, like you said,
I don't see much weakness with their team. They're a good team.
Yeah, they don't have no slips or cracks like that, and I think too, it speaks a lot about building a culture around like a D-Book, because D-Book never really had that solid foundation because he's always had coaching changes. So it was like, okay, I get a new coach, and what direction are we in now? Like Kokoskov, like who the hell is that? Like, bro, nobody wants him as your coach. Like, you remember him, Igor? Remember him? Like, bro, like what? Like nobody wants him. Like he was there. Kokoskov was there when I first got to Grand Canyon. And that was the funny part about it. I'm like, who is this? And this is my first preseason. And this is when Suns tickets were like dirt cheap. Now to go to a Suns game, it costs money.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I never thought we would be able to say that, but that's just what it is now. And I mean, it's the success of the team, bro. Like, and that's good that and James Jones as general manager, that's a good addition too for the team.
He's got to get executive of the year. He's got to get it.
He probably is going to get it because he's structured around a team that's really fundamentally sound and solid, and the production off the bench is good too.
They got one of the best benches in the league. Campaign, I mean Dario.
Oh yeah, Campaign. Yeah, and Campaign was a guy, bro, that we kind of gave up on in the league. I feel like a little bit, not a lot, but it was like, oh, Cameron Artis-Payne, nobody cares about him. He was on the Bulls or whatever, and we were done with him.
Yeah,
but he kind of revitalized his game to the point now, and he was on the Thunder too. I remember that. Yeah. But he kind of revitalized his game to a point now. It's like, okay, you're a productive, like, backup point guard now. Like, that's cool. Yeah. So I don't know, bro. I'm happy for Book, bro, because I always, ever since I've been like in Phoenix, I was like, okay, like I hope that he gets in a good position where you can kind of see the peak of a rising star. Kind of not comparing him to Kobe or nothing, bro, but like he has that mentality, like I want to be great, but I don't have that much leeway or leverage to do it. So
Kobe
It's
wrote,
good.
"Be
Huh?
legendary." He signed his shoes, books. He signed a pair of shoes and gave it to Devin Booker and said, "Be legendary."
Hmm.
That's Devin Booker is the closest thing we got to Kobe in the league right now. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's my opinion. That's
Yeah.
my opinion too. So it's crazy. And then another team too, surprising all of us, obviously, and being slept on at this point right now is the Utah Jazz. Like they played a game today and D Mitch got ejected.
Yeah.
D Mitch got ejected because Joel Embiid and them were toying at him, bro. It was so bad, bro. And at the end of the game, D Mitch is like, or at the post game, D Mitch is like, bro, like this is ridiculous, bro. Like the refs in this league suck, bro. He basically called him out. Was like the league needs to check out on this. I honestly think, bro, they need more respect, bro. I don't know what you think, but I want to hear what's your thoughts about them?
About the Jazz as a whole.
Yeah, the Jazz. Yeah, as a whole. Yeah, for sure.
Like, here's the thing for me: Jordan Clarkson's gonna be Sixth Man of the Year. Rudy Gobert could win another Defensive Player of the Year, and Donovan Mitchell could win Most Improved Player. Quinn Snyder could win Coach of the Year. How is that underrated? Like they're gonna sweep the damn awards, bro. And for me, I guess this is where I guess people would say, "Oh, you're sleeping on them." It's like I just want to see them do it in the playoffs. But with the way they're playing, bro, like they can hang with the Philly, they can hang with Milwaukee, they can hang with the Lakers. They beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't beat us with AD, but they still beat us. And so,
no, you gotta give it to them.
Yeah, like it's just like Phoenix beat us without AD, but it's still a win. Like I think Utah can be the team that comes out in the West, but the Clippers beat them like 2 weeks ago with both teams fully healthy. So I think if the Lakers are going to be like this injury mess this whole year and we're just done, I think Western Conference Finals ends up being Clippers Jazz, and I think the Jazz and Clippers go to 7. I think they go to 7, and it's a toss up for me. I really think the Jazz have a good chance at winning the championship this year because the league is so wide open, and the only team I think that really can compete with the Jazz, obviously, the two teams I guess are the Lakers, because I don't think anybody can compete with the Lakers if the Lakers are healthy. And two is the Nets. I think the Nets are with KD are disgustingly good, bro. Like who's guarding them with Harden, KD, and Kyrie? They're kicking teams' ass with just 2 of them without KD. And you put KD out there, KD could be the best player in the league. I'm still LeBron still, but KD's up there for me. If it's Nets Jazz in the finals, I would not be that surprised. That's how good I think the Jazz are.
Yeah, and the thing about them too, like you're getting production out of every single person.
Every player.
Like D Mitch, like Spida's averaging 25, Clarkson's averaging 18. Conley's having a way better year, averaging 16. Bojan Bogdanovic, great producer, who I feel like I still say they needed him last year.
He's averaging
16. Gobert's producing his good numbers at 14 and 13. Still leading, I'm pretty sure he's up there in blocks. He's averaging 3 right now, like basically 3 blocks a game. He's averaging 2.7 right now. And then you got Joe Ingles still can shoot. Royce O'Neal's a good defender. Georges Niang's a good energy guy off the bench for them. This team is locked and loaded.
Stacked.
And that's another team too, bro. Like we don't think about guys like Monty Williams and Quinn Snyder, but Quinn Snyder and Monty Williams, these guys got their teams locked in. Accept your role and do it to the best of your ability and just trust the process. They're doing it, bro. And it's so crazy to me because it's like the Jazz is like we don't care about them. We don't think about them. But mind you, bro, the Jazz were one of those teams too. They were 1 game away from getting into the next round, bro. You don't know what they could have did, bro. Like that same Jazz team could have made some noise and did the same exact thing that Denver possibly could have. You never know. But
D Mitch was going for 50 a night.
Right. Him and Jamal were going at it. It was the best thing ever, bro. Like I know it was good seeing us win a championship, but that series was dope.
That was fun.
If you're looking at some 2 rising star guards, bro, because we can't people try to sit here and say, oh, Jamal Murray and D Mitch aren't superstars, but they're stars for their teams for sure. They're respected and known by players now. That stuff and that series for sure helped them to get to the position of respect by the players a lot, bro. And D Mitch especially, bro, he wanted it bad. He wanted it really bad. You could tell, but they fell short, and it's okay that it happens. Every great player goes through it. Jordan went through it. Kobe went through it. Everybody goes through that phase. But at the same time, D Mitch is in that phase now where I think he's tired of being disrespected. Because, I mean, you even heard Shaq. Shaq said, I don't think you have what it takes. We talked about that. And we're like, what the hell? Like, why would you say that to him? Like, when you're seeing that he's the best player on his team, just like D-Book, he's the best player on his team, and you're expecting him to just go out and be great all of a sudden off the rip. Like, come on, bro. Like, he's doing it already.
Yeah.
What more do you seek for him? Like,
as a young player.
Yeah, he's young. I mean, besides my boy Dwayne Russell, you know, giving him that work in college, but no, I'm just playing, bro. But it's crazy, bro. Like, I really personally believe like what you're saying is true, bro. Like, I mean, either them or the Suns, I can see it like being in the conference finals too with the Clippers, because they're proving themselves, bro. And that's another testament, because I thought too, like with the whole COVID thing, the outbreak last year with Rudy Gobert, it would cripple the relationship with him and D Mitch. But you kind of slowly revitalizing back a little bit better. Last year in the bubble, you can kind of see like, okay, like we're doing it to make ends meet. We're doing it to, you know, favor the situation of our team, and we have a chance to compete. But I don't think the team knew the full potential that they fully had if they had the chemistry on and going perfect.
Yeah.
Right now, we're seeing like the team is fully going. Like even JC, Jordan Clarkson is one of my favorite guys, bro. Like when he used to be on the Lakers back in the day, bro. Like even seeing his success is crazy, because like he was in Cleveland. I'm like, oh, bro, like no, you're finna waste his career out there, bro. Like, no, get him out of there.
Yeah.
But he just got signed to a good contract too.
Big money, yeah.
And I mean, he's embracing that backup point guard, 2-guard role. Like,
yeah.
So I mean, the team has a good high productivity rate from their players, bro. And I mean, you can't stop a team that's like that, bro.
They score everywhere.
Yeah, they score everywhere, and they can shoot. Like D Mitch's shot's a little bit better now, to where he's able to consistently shot create and even get to the rack. Because I mean, at first we saw D Mitch, I'm like, okay, he plays like D Wade, you know, like. But now you're kind of seeing like those little gaps where like the ball's moving. You got Mike Conley as your point guard. He's making effective plays and moves for his team, bro. So it's more better. But rounding it all out, though, I mean, we got the Clippers at 3. The Lakers are at 4. Currently right now, Portland won tonight, I think. They're at 5.
Yes.
And then you got San Antonio, Denver, Dallas, Golden State.
Golden State's out right now. That's crazy.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing about it. But that's how tight it's always is in the West, bro. And you know this, bro. Like, you lose one game, you're potentially in the fray of not making it even in the play-in tournament.
It's crazy.
But Denver's the one team. I mean, we've always talked about them like the past couple episodes with AC, and we always talk about like they missed those pieces that they had on their team, bro. Like
Jeremy Grant,
guys like Jeremy Grant,
the biggest one.
Like, he was the biggest piece for that team on defense. Yeah. Like they lack in the terms of, we need a defender. If we don't have a defender on our team, we're not going to be solid to the point where we could depend on a guy like Michael Porter Jr., who only cares about scoring and shooting the ball and getting his touches, or compared to Jamal Murray having to guard elite point guards every single night. Like, if you're going out guys like Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley and Chris Paul's, Devin Booker's, Paul George and Kawhi's, and Damian Lillard's of the league, and then Luka's, like, it's hard, bro. It's brutal. Especially in the West, going against elite guards like that every single night, bro, like you don't catch a break.
No.
So the wear and tear of the consistency of your team is going to be really relied upon your stars. Jokic. Like Jokic is going to produce his numbers. Obviously, he's a center. Not in my opinion, the West doesn't have as many dominant bigs as we may per se there is to be, but there are enough. AD and you know guys like that, Gobert. But the problem always has been though is like you said before, I think you said if Jokic doesn't have a good night, bro, the team is in a problem.
They ain't doing anything. And part of it is Michael Porter Jr.'s got to play better. Jamal Murray's taken a little bit of a step back since the playoffs. I thought he was going to take that step forward and become like a full all-star this year.
I think they're trusting in Jokic a lot.
Yeah, and Jokic has taken so much of the offense. And so what I think it's done is Jamal Murray averaging 22 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. That's good. What I need is for Michael Porter Jr., who's averaging like 14 and 7, I need him to average more like 18 and 9, right? And if he averages something more like that, I think he becomes kind of that third scorer, that third star. Which sucks for them because Jeremy Grant is now in Detroit, and he was there. He's averaging 24 a game now, 23 a game. And so if he had been there in Denver still, I think they would have been a lot better off because Jeremy Grant is basically a star this year. I mean, he's been playing
Yeah,
his
the dude's on a potential fray for most improved player,
yeah,
bro. It's
he might win it, and it's
yeah,
crazy. He's averaging more points a game than Jamal Murray is now. That's crazy to me.
yeah. And
Like
I don't
they're
think that's
seven
the
in the West.
problem.
That's not good.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, because all it takes is for a team like, Memphis or even Golden State to sneak back in, bro, and they're out.
And get hot
You
and
know?
jump right back up. Yeah.
So like my growing concern has always been with this team is like, what is your reliancy factor on? Like this is a team that potentially could see on the buyout market. Even a guy like it's kind of a weird fit, but better than Millsap is Blake Griffin, bro.
Yeah. He'd fit
To
in that
get your
fourth spot.
to get your team to a better position of, the forward position. Like beside because Millsap was good, and bro. Millsap is not the same dude, bro.
No.
Like Millsap is not and Millsap was always known to be like that savvy, powerful, but he's not that guy no more. He's aged.
He's
So you kind
36 now.
Yeah, but he's not and yeah, he's the same age as LeBron, but his productivity rate, his athleticism is not even near nothing to that.
No.
So you need to go get a guy that can provide you vital minutes at the four, even the backup big. Because if Jokic isn't on the court, bro, like you said, there is a problem. There's no playmaking coming out of him. Besides Murray, but Murray's not really. But Murray's, in my opinion, he's a point guard. But at the same time, Murray's a scoring guard. Like he's gonna go get his buckets. He's gonna get his shots up. He's more of like a sharp shooting facilitator. He's gonna go get his shots up and then just pass around. He's not gonna try to go create a flashy play. He can do it. He's proven to do it. But the man could easily score 50 and just without ease, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Point guard, he's only averaging like 4.5 assists a game. That's not good enough to be point guard. And
the leading assist man is Jokic.
Yeah, Jokic is leading them in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. That's like one-dimensional. I guarantee you, if you look up the Jazz, they got a different guy leading them in scoring, different guy in rebounding, different guy in assists, different guy in steals. They have different guys to do different things. That's what makes a good team great is different guys do different things.
Be great at your craft and be great at your skill.
Exactly.
That type of situation, bro.
Exactly, bro. And so, like if you look at the Jazz, Donovan Mitchell leads them in points. Rudy Gobert leads them in rebounds, and Conley leads them in assists. That's a complete team.
Yeah.
Right? And so
it's bad.
I don't think Denver's a contender because they obviously lost Jeremy Grant, and the rest of their role guys are just not good enough.
Who are we ever to sit here and say that a guy like Jeremy Grant will be the crucial factor in the impact of your team? And I'm not saying that because at the same time it is Jeremy Grant from last year. But at the same time, like you can just see the energy on defense and the responsibility and task of a guy like Michael Porter Jr. having to guard an elite forward or guard is hard now because Jeremy Grant was that guy. Like even back in his OKC days, he was guarding the guy when Andre Roberson went down. You saw the improvement in Jeremy Grant's defense, bro, because he was meant to be that guy. The length, the athleticism, the speed, the lateral quickness. The jump, the
12 points a game to 23 this year. That's 11 points per game difference. That's crazy.
And at first when Jeremy Grant came from Syracuse, bro, I remember this and he was on the Sixers. Dude, all he did was slash and have a spot up midi. The dude couldn't shoot threes. Now he's shooting threes. He can shot create for himself, spin moves, all that stuff. It's ridiculous, bro. Like he just needed his own. I guess he just needed his own way. And I'm not mad at him. He wanted his money. Like he's on a sorry team, but at the same time, he's doing what he wanted, and I can't be mad at a guy like that. But flipping over to the East, though, like in the conference, like the impact that we're seeing out of James Harden is crazy, bro. Like my problem, bro. My problem, bro. I saw him play today. They played against his old team at Houston.
Yep.
They gave him a great tribute. I really respect them for that. I thought he would have got bantered a little bit, but obviously you can tell the team appreciates him a lot for what he's done for the city and for even the organization as a whole, getting to the direction of where they are now. I know they're losing now, but at the same time, he's put them in a good spot. But at the same time, though, it's like you get a guy like James Harden, you put him on a team where you already have ball dominant players like Kyrie, KD, and then you just see the willingness of a guy to go and contribute. You know what I'm saying? Like James Harden's might not be like the craziest leading scorer on the team anymore, but at the same time, you're seeing an efficient game out of him now, bro. Like Harden's averaging 26, 8, and 9. Like literally, 26. He's averaging 26 points. He's averaging 9 rebounds a game, and his assist total is 11.4. He's leading the league in assists, I think, right now.
That's crazy.
Like, what? And you're averaging 26, and your leading scorer is technically basically Kevin Durant at 29.
Yep. The team is disgusting, bro.
I'm worried for whoever has to go up against them in the finals, bro. Like, or even in the playoffs as a whole. Like,
yeah,
when KD comes back, bro, it's gonna get pretty bad. Yeah,
wrap it, bro. I said it on the B Squared podcast.
I heard.
I said, "Damn, the
Nets, Alex Houston,
they're filthy, bro. Like they're beating teams by 20 without KD, bro. Think about you bring KD back. KD's 30 points every night.
Yeah,
dirty. That team's gonna. I think they're gonna. If they play Milwaukee, they'll sweep them. Maybe Philly will take one game off them.
The team that poses the biggest threat, though, out of all of those teams is probably like a Philly, though, because you're going to have to depend on guys like – I was telling AC this. I texted him earlier. I said you're going to have to depend on a guy like Ben Simmons to guard like a Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
But the problem is with that, you still have 2 great isolators, and at the same time, you have a great facilitator in James Harden where – James Harden's not even in the phase where he's just looking to kill somebody now. James Harden's looking for Joe Harris.
Yeah.
And guys like Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, DJ throwing lobs. Like, he's not like James Harden, don't forget, he can get his shot up whenever he wants to get it up. The main priority and concern now is the threats around them.
Yeah.
Joe Harris is having a career year this year. Adrian Wojnarowski from ESPN, he just interviewed the guy, Joe Harris. Joe Harris is averaging 15 points right now, but at the same time, his effective rate from 3 is stupid high right now, bro. Because James Harden and even the Mike D'Antoni system, bro, you remember D'Antoni used to be that guy who was like, okay, James Harden's our focal point, and then we're going to put shooters around him. We're going to surround shooters around him, and when they're open, shoot the corner 3, shoot on the wing off the fly. Yeah. James Harden drives to the end, the teams crash in. You kick out to a guy like Kyrie can shoot the 3, KD can shoot the 3, Joe Harris, Jeff Green. You have guys around you now, Landry Shamet, Bruce Brown. All these guys are producing. And it's crazy. We've been talking about that all day. It's like productivity. But like you said, is what makes your teams great. But the thing too, the team we were talking too about like the defense aspect of it all. Like, yeah, you could kind of see the little slight improvement. They're getting a little bit better on defense, but at the same time, bro, like once the team is fully locked in on this whole aspect of a offense and defense thing, and even if they don't consistently focus on defense, just the plethora of offense that they have already is already going to out-dominate any team in the league, bro. No team is going to be able to keep up with that. Giannis, yeah, he can score inside.
Maybe they take 2 games off him.
Yeah, and that's on an off night or even on an off night from all 3. You're not getting an off night from, in my opinion, you're not getting an off night from all 3.
No.
And first of all, you don't even have 3 solid. You have good. Every team has their 3 and D guys.
Yeah,
the guys that are required to guard the best players.
Right.
But at the same time, they're not going to be able to stick a guy like Kyrie, Harden, and KD. That is the nasty. Like that is really on paper. Like, bro, I was talking to one of the homies out here.
Yeah.
And Baker, I told myself, bro, that's one of the nastiest, like, on paper things we've seen. Yeah, Curry, Clay, and KD.
Yeah.
And then LeBron, D Wade and Bosh, or LeBron and Kyrie and Love. But dude, I'm talking about scoring, plethora of scoring. Kyrie, Harden, and KD all easily average 25,
27?
Easily. Kyrie's leading the team in points right now with KD out with 27.2. But at the same time, though, it's just like, bro, like the plethora of scoring that the team has is so crazy, bro. And when Kevin Durant comes back, he's coming for, for the Eastern Conference Finals into the championship run, bro. Like
He's
this
got
team is
that
not in a phase of busting, or this team's not in a phase of we're taking a break. No, this team is coming after the chip. Like there's no window for them to sit there and be like, okay, we're just coasting through, trying to get a feel for it. No, these guys know what they seek.
Harden wants a championship, bro.
Who?
Harden does. He said
Oh,
it.
yeah.
He said it to Rachel Nichols last year on an interview. He said, "I'm gonna get one. I promise you, I'm gonna get one."
Mm-hmm. Whatever it takes. I mean, it took him going to Brooklyn, I guess, to get one, but
Yeah.
it's crazy, bro. Because as much scrutiny and backing we get behind James Harden, like I like his play, bro. Like, yeah, the guy can shot create and he has all these moves and ISO moves, like, but it's his ability to be a playmaker.
Yeah, that sets him apart.
I was listening to what Joe Harris was saying to Woj.
Yeah.
And he was saying, he said, James Harden is actually a really good passer. He said he's actually one of the best passers I ever played with. And to hear that from a guy like that who's a shooter, and obviously a point guard will get you the ball.
Yeah.
But he spoke high volume of that. And I was just like, wow, like
respect. From
his game to transition from a high scoring guard to an offensive facilitator, offensive initiator now is crazy.
Yeah.
It just shows too, because you got guys like Kyrie Irving who tend to, allow their ego sometimes. And I'm not bashing him right now because I don't want to do that, but who allow their egos sometimes to get the best of them, or allow their mental mentality to get the best of them. But he seems like he's willing. He's like, okay, bro, like I want you to run point guard. I'm gonna run the 2 guard, and KD's gonna do this thing. That was never the problem. We always knew Kevin Durant was gonna get his shots. Kevin Durant's gonna be able to shot create whenever he wants. Kevin Durant can do whatever he wants on the offensive end.
Whenever he wants, yeah.
Yeah, even the defensive end. So there's never a problem. The main focus was always the aspect of, how is Harden and Kyrie going to mesh? And they've meshed fine.
They look good.
They have a little bit of blemishes sometimes, but to say they are bumping heads, there's no bumping heads. Like
no.
It's so egocentric. Like, here, you go. Like, and they just
really well.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of guards play together. You got John Wall, Bradley Beal play together. You got just a bunch of different guys. I wouldn't consider PG and Kawhi to be guards, but they kind of play ball dominant.
They're backcourt. They're backcourt. Yeah.
Chris Paul and James Harden. You got guys all over the league where it's like sometimes it takes a lot away. Russell Westbrook and James Harden, it takes a lot away from their game to play together.
Dame and CJ. Yeah.
But
it's sacrifice.
But you look at these two and they're getting exactly what they would get even with different guys, like lesser guys. It's crazy to me that Kyrie can go out and get 28 or 30, and James Harden can also get 30 and 10 assists and 5 rebounds, or 10 assists and 10 rebounds. Like, they're getting theirs, and they're winning, and the team is hella good, and KD hasn't played in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
And the thing about it, too, bro, with the aspect of that, James Harden's not worried about scoring anymore, bro. Like, obviously he cares to score.
Yeah.
But his impact is on making winning plays. If I can create a shot for my teammate, it creates the best confidence for your team.
Yeah.
You don't have to be – he's not in a situation in, like, Houston anymore where he was having to depend on, like, PJ Tucker to make a corner 3 to keep him in the game. He doesn't have to depend on that anymore. Like, now his main concern is, how can I make my teammates around me happy? How can I keep my teammates around me in a good position?
Bruce Brown scoring 20 a game.
Yeah, Bruce Brown is playing center. Like, what? Like,
he's
right. And it's crazy, bro, because you don't expect that out of anybody. You don't expect that out of a 6'4" guard. You don't expect that. But high motor. These guys are producing, bro. Like, they're hungry. They want to win. They want to prove to the doubters that we can do it. So I don't know, bro. They pose the greatest threat to any team, in my opinion. Like, I know we talk about the West and we're talking about the Jazz, but they pose the greatest threat to any team. I know we sit here on paper right now. It says that Philly's the number 1 seed, but when you look at those matchups, bro, the only dominant matchup that they really have on the Brooklyn Nets is the center at Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
Like, and Ben Simmons, he can play make, but he's not dogging out Kevin Durant. He's not locking up Kevin Durant either.
Hell
Like
no.
Kevin Durant, even if he locks up Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant's still scoring easy 27 to 30. Like it's no comp, bro. Like it's no comp with this team, bro. It's like playing a video game. It's
Yeah.
really like playing a video game with them, bro.
Disgusting, bro.
It's crazy, bro. But trajectory wise, last piece before we wrap it all up, like
Yeah.
how do you feel about Boston?
That's such a tough question.
I'm
Kemba
gonna talk
is
about it when I record with Alex. I'm gonna talk
yeah.
about it with Alex too, but I want to see your thoughts about it too.
Kemba is the weirdest part of Boston for me. If he goes off, they win. If he doesn't, they lose. They got like their big men are trash. I mean, let's just be real. They got
Yeah,
James
Dyson, Tristan.
Williams,
Tristan's not the sign. Yeah.
Tristan Thompson. Like, who are their starting big men? I don't think that they can compete with any of the elite teams in the East. But I will say that I think of like the East teams that have the most potential, I think they are up there because Tatum can go for 30, Brown can go for 30, and Kemba, if he plays well, can go for 20 to 25 a night. It's just about can they play well all together on the same night. And I don't think they're going to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. I don't think they have the potential. But you put one more good piece on that team, whether it's a big man, whether it's, kind of more of like I don't want to say like a Rudy Gobert type of guy, but somebody like that, whether it's,
kind of like a rim protector.
yeah, a rim protector who can score a little bit inside, who's not Daniel Tice.
Yeah, because Daniel Tice is only 6'8".
You're capping. No way.
No, bro. I'm not capping. Like it's on ESPN right here, bro.
That's
But not even to feed off the source of his height. He's not a traditional size big, bro. He's just not.
No, he's not. He's not. You're not getting anywhere with Daniel.
You're not
Tice.
depending on a guy like him to guard Joel.
No, bro.
And even a Tristan Thompson, like I mean, besides this drama with the Kardashians and all that BS stuff, we'll talk about that. But no, I'm just playing, bro. But like, it's just like you don't depend on these guys. And I mean, you see guys like, Robert Williams III, who's been there for at least like 2 to 3 years now. You think like, okay, like Vogel has been giving him a chance. I can give him that. And that was always my concern. Was like, okay, like guys like Robert Williams need a chance, bro. He's averaging like 60 minutes a game now. So that's better than him not even playing or getting a DNP or getting a late game scratch. He doesn't even play. But the structure of the team is so odd, bro. Like the way I see Danny Ainge sometimes, bro, I just be like, oh, like what did you do with your team, bro? Like, okay, so you got Tatum, you got Brown. Okay, those are your two guys you build up around. But then you got Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Daniel Theis, Tristan Thompson. Peyton Pritchard's a good backup point guard. I'm not gonna lie, but
I like him.
The signing of like a guy like Jeff Teague, like
why?
What did that do? It didn't do nothing. The addition of Tristan Thompson to the team, what did that do? Like
you're telling me that they couldn't have gone out and signed Dwight Howard or something? Like
I would have went after Dwight or at least Dwight and JaVale. Go get both of them. Fuck it. Go get both of them. And go create a monster.
Yeah, bro.
But the thing about it is crazy. Jason Tatum's only 22, I believe, now, and then Jaylen Brown's 24.
Yeah.
You still have a lot of time, but you don't want to get to this point where you get into a situation like with the Hawks, what they're facing right now. The Hawks are facing the thing where we got tired of hearing Lloyd Pierce's voice. We got tired of hearing Lloyd Pierce's voice, that we want to be able to hear a fresh voice that can give us a new aligned path of a better direction.
Yeah.
What happened? So my personal opinion, Mark Jackson shouldn't have got fired from the Warriors. I mean, he was doing a good job with the team. But at the same time, Kerr came in and I mean, he already had a foundational set team that knew what they needed to do to get to the point where they wanted to be.
Yeah.
And all it took was just a little elevation pitch from the guy. And that's what it took. That's another thing me and AC are going to talk about. Be on the lookout for that, you guys. But my main issue was always like, I don't want this team to be tired of Brad Stevens, bro. And bro, being a Laker fan, bro, I don't like the Celtics at all, bro. But I know Brad Stevens is a qualitative coach to a point where he can direct his team to a good path.
He's been there forever, bro.
For the 3 of the past 4 seasons. I can't hate on the guy for that. I can knock on him for, not making the finals. But at the same time, he went up against a LeBron team. Don't LeBron when Tatum was a rookie. But back at that point, you're seeing good production out of your 2 superstars, out of Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Those good picks.
I didn't think, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think Jaylen Brown would elevate to this point in his career. Like
Nobody did, bro.
A game, it was a shock. That's another guy, bro. He could potentially be most improved player. Him or even a guy like Jeremy Grant, obviously. But it's crazy because it's like now we're in a juxtaposition area where we have a top shooting guard right now in the East, and we have a top small forward in the league in the East. So now it's like build the team around them that can put you in a position. The thing too, though, and this is the last thing, and a lot of people have been saying this, reporters, analysts, whoever, they've been saying, okay, we got to wait till Marcus Smart gets back to see the impact of the team. Marcus Smart's a great defender. Don't get me wrong. He's scrappy. He hustles. He does his work. But he's not enough to get this team to the finals.
What's he, 12 points a game, bro? Like,
yeah. And all Marcus Smart's game is now is shooting and scrappy, rough plays to the basket, bro. Like Marcus Smart used to be that guy at Oklahoma State where he can get to the rack, he can score, he can shoot, do all this crazy, ridiculous stuff that we never thought a guy like him could do because he was kind of stubby, but he was doing it. But now it's like Smart's like that vet.
Yep.
He's like the scrappy Pat. He's like the nicer, like the more modified Pat Bev, bro, that we want, bro. But I can't sit here and say he's the solution to the struggles of the team of inconsistency. The thing that they do struggle with, bro, and I was telling AC this last episode, the episode prior, they struggle to close games. There's times where this team, like even the game against the Clippers, they just played the Clippers on primetime on, I believe that was Tuesday.
Yeah.
They were struggling, bro. Like towards the end, I'm like, bro, if you guys blow this game, bro, it's over. Like if you guys don't win this game, it's bad. Like you guys have.
They have the potential to beat teams like the Clippers. You know what I mean?
Right, and they won. They won the game. Don't get me wrong. They won the game, but they got into such a tight knit position where it was like, okay, if we screw up on this inbound play, we're out of the game. I'm like, damn, like it's that kind of like edgy now with this team where they have to like be on pins and needles at all times.
They gotta learn.
But then you got but I mean, and it's going to take time because I mean, Jason Tatum, we got to give him that. He's 22. He's young. Jaylen Brown still is young too. Like these guys aren't old, but that's why you think, bro. Like you get a guy like Kemba Walker, and we can't knock him for this. Kemba Walker was never in the best position in Charlotte, and I'm not knocking Jordan for being the owner or anything like that, but he didn't have a team equipped around him that would get him to a crazy jumping point. Right. Kemba Walker was just known to be that fringe star on his own. But now you get him around guys that are capable of doing it. You want to mesh him well with these guys, but it's like Kemba Walker's not really that voice where he can be like, okay, guys, this is what it's going to take for us to get here. He doesn't have that experience.
No.
So we can't sit here and say, oh, Kemba Walker's the problem, or he's not the solution, or he's not the answer. Like I kind of back off of that Kemba talk because it's like he's never been there. But at the same time, though, we got to give him the credit and respect that, okay, we put you on this team to do some work and you're not doing it. But I think he's kind of struggling with those injuries, bro. I don't know. And
his body's breaking down a little bit.
Yeah, he's breaking down a little bit. And yeah, he still has the handle and he can still get that prowess finish on to the rim. But his jump shot is kind of iffy sometimes. Like, yeah, against the Clippers when they won 117-112, he scored 25. But every night he's not doing that. So that's like the main concern I see with them because I would hate – and people have been saying, oh, yeah, maybe they should do something like the Hawks did and get a new coach. No. Like, you let go of Brad Stevens, what trajectory position do you put yourself in unless you're getting another guy like a Steve Kerr? You're not getting that. So I'm not even going to sit here and say Steve Kerr's the greatest coach of all time. He's not. But you know what I'm saying? He had what? He had Steph, Clay, and KD. And already imminent 73-19 build up all from the ground up, all that stuff. I respect that. But there's no other way to just go handle your toil, go through your work, and just dig. And we can get through it all together, bro. So I think they'll be fine. I just think that the front court needs to get bulked up a little bit, bro.
Yeah, I agree. And they have that potential of like waiting long term because their stars are so young. You know, you could trade Kemba, trade Tice, trade this guy, trade that guy, and wait and get back first round picks and keep going into the future because your stars are so young. So that's for me as Boston fans. I don't like Boston at all, but have patience. Have patience. Like, you guys will be good for a long time. Boston's always good. The Celtics are good every single year.
Mhm.
And they just got to have patience because you hate winning a championship with Daniel Tice as your center. I'm sorry.
I mean, who do we have? Shaq in a full 3-time MVP, JaVale McGee. No, I'm just playing,
Please,
bro. But
not there anymore.
it's I mean, and that's the thing, bro. Like, it's hard, bro, to find a great center now in the
It is.
league, bro. Like,
Big men are gone. Like, good big
yeah.
men are gone.
I mean, we had Boogie, but after he went down, bro, you could kind of see the trajectory and shift in the big man, bro. Like, there was no longer that back to the basket dominant big who's just gonna go drop step and dunk on you like how Shaq would do. Now we got guys that, like
They're in
the
between.
Embiids and the Embiids and the Jokic's of the world now. Like,
And
these
they're-
guys who can play make from the post, or the
Yeah.
guys that can bring up the court. Like, and even Cat, like, Cat's kind of declining right now because of the trajectory of his team right now. That's not great. But these are all playmaking bigs now, compared to the aspect of a guy like a Daniel Theis who hustles, has to work for his shots.
Yeah.
Tristan Thompson, like, these guys, you don't have those crafted workhorses like those guys anymore. Like, Tristan Thompson was a good producer for the Cavs when he was on those championship runs with LeBron. He was pivotal to the success of the team. Like, yeah, he didn't score all those points and all that stuff, but he would rebound and he would get off the pick and roll switches and all that stuff. Yeah. But we don't see guys like that anymore, to where it's all about dominance and it's all about trying to be a nasty player. And it sucks. It sucks because, like, me growing up, we always saw dominant bigs and we saw like the freaks and beasts of the world, bro. But we don't get that anymore. But there could be a resurgence. You never know. But at the same time, though, it's just like you got to trust in what you have right now and try to build off of it. Like Robert Williams, I feel like Robert Williams deserves more time just by the young. Yeah, he's young. He's young. Give him a chance. He's athletic. Like, that's what you seek after. Go get it. You have it. And you're not putting a Taco Fall. So I don't know, bro, but it's crazy. But overall, like, the first half of the season's been pretty good. Pushing the All-Star break and stuff. The basketball's been good. It's kind of weird. Like, we were talking last week when you were on. Not having fans has been kind of awkward and weird, but they're starting to slowly progress back up into the pace of where we want it to be.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's going to be good. The All-Star break should be good. We got All-Star weekend coming up. Me and Alex are going to talk about starters on our next recording pretty soon.
Good shit.
And then because the draft between LeBron and KD and stuff like that. So we got a lot of good stuff that we're going to be covering.
That already happened, or is that coming up?
It's tomorrow.
Okay. Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, the draft's tomorrow. KD's not playing in the game, but still, you got LeBron James. Still with the mentality to try to win, and it's for charity for HBCU, so it benefits good. Awesome. I was kind of in question. About the All-Star game just because of, like, the player safety and the protocols and stuff. But it's gonna be a good success. So
I'm glad the NBA is donating the proceeds to HBCUs. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good benefit.
And for just for the community as a whole, it's just awesome that the NBA is doing that. So good for them.
Yeah, for sure. But hey, man, I appreciate you being on, bro, for our this little special episode, bro. Next recording, guys, we'll be back with Alex and we'll be talking about All-Star stuff and all that good stuff. Be sure to continue to check out B Square Pod with Alex Wiesen and Kent.
Yes, sir.
It's always been a blessing having you on, man. We appreciate you, man. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our content, you guys, and we'll be seeing you guys soon. And be sure to check up.